1,900. Oh no. 1,900. Laid off from Microsoft Gaming. And of those 1,900, well, they worked at Blizzard. Mike Ybara and Alan Edham also quitting. Oh gosh. Okay. A reduction of Blizzard's workforce. 8,000 people laid off, which I did the math besides this, is about an 8.5% reduction in Blizzard's workforce. You may be asking, Sam, how are they going to keep making games with a reduced workforce? Well, I assume there was a lot of, repetitive stuff going on. Microsoft, obviously, being a big company that it is, it probably already had a lot of people doing a lot of things that some Blizzard employees were doing. And if you've ever seen a merger occur, it's usually a sign of layoffs to come. It's just your typical thing. Not to mention, you got the entire games industry just laying the axe to a ton of people. A lot of employees in the gaming industry. It started really with tech in general, and now the gaming industry has really jumped in and just been telling people, you got to go back to your respawn point. You're leaving today. Yeah, so it's sad. It's sad. It really is. I feel bad for anybody who's gotten laid off. I've been laid off myself many times before. It's not fun. It's not fun. So prayers to those who lost their jobs. But from Phil Spencer, Mr. Xbox himself, this was his statement. It's been a little over 3 months since Activision, Blizzard, and King teams joined Microsoft. As we move forward in 2024, the leadership of Microsoft Gaming and Activision Blizzard is committed to aligning on a strategy and an execution plan with a sustainable cross structure. There you go. Key word. See, all these corporations, they in the beginning of the year, it feels like they always all get together and they're like, what's the key word of the year? This year, it's sustainable cost structure. Feels like every single mass layoff, this is the key word that the CEO throws out there. We got to get it to a sustainable cost structure. Okay, yeah. So we're going to fire people instead of trying to cut back in other ways. But anyways, that will support the whole of our growing business. Together, we've set priorities, identified areas of overlap, and ensured that we're all aligned on the best opportunities for growth. As part of this process, we have made a painful decision to reduce the size of the gaming workforce by approximately 1,900 roles out of 2,200 people on our team. My God, man. It's crazy to think about how many people 1,900 people are. And then you think about the residual effects of that, like, these are 1,900 people who probably have families. So you're talking about an effect of much larger than 1,900 people here. Yeah, it's pretty sad. And like I said, it's just, I feel like it's such an easy go-to for some of these leadership positions to say, well, we got to cut our costs. How are we going to do that? Let's just get fewer people to do more work. Yeah, let's do that. That's a good plan. Then they all high-five and then they head off to go start the firings. We are a lawyer, and we all know lawyers don't have souls. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm a lawyer who has experience being laid off due to, unforeseen circumstances or circumstances that have nothing to do with me. Just economics. So it's sad. But it happens. The gaming leadership team and I are committed to navigating this process as thoughtfully as possible. The people who are directly impacted by these reductions have all played an important part in the success of Activision Blizzard, ZeniMax, and the Xbox team. They should be proud of everything they've accomplished here. We are grateful for all of the creativity, passion, and dedication they have brought to our games, our players, and our colleagues. We will provide our full support to those who were impacted during the transition, including severance benefits informed by local employment laws. Which means if you're working in California, it's probably going to be better than if you're working somewhere else. But yeah, those whose roles will be impacted will be notified. Damn, when they released this shit, they hadn't even told the people. Oh my God, my heart would have been in my freaking ass. So this statement got released before they found out who was getting fired. Damn. And we ask that you please treat your departing colleagues with the respect and compassion that is consistent with our values. Looking ahead, we'll continue to invest in areas that will grow our business and support our strategy of bringing more games to more players around the world. Although this is a difficult moment for our team, I am as confident as ever in our ability to create and nurture the games, stories, and worlds that bring players together. Yeah, well, maybe there's going to be 1,900 more players now because they don't have jobs, but hey, maybe you feed your own industry, I guess. You know what I'm grateful for, Sam? Finding Sam. It lets me release any pent-up rage through the week. I'm glad I could do that. I'm glad I could be a punch bag. Yes, anytime, Moishi. Yeah, look, this stuff, it's, you know, like we talk about games here. Most of the time we're talking about WoW.
Bitch. You fucking bitch.
Yeah.
This is what I get for trusting. You know, I'm not doing this.
That's probably how the employees felt. They are probably feeling like Microsoft was a fucking bitch after that merger. But you got to understand, always after mergers, there's just redundancies in roles and people are going to get cut. And across the board, I really feel like one of the major reasons these cuts have happened is the overhire mentality of corporate America, right? There's no punishment for firing. In fact, a lot of time your stock might just go up because you fired people, right? Because you're cutting costs, I guess. But during the COVID era, I mean, the gaming exploded like never before. And it's very obvious why. People were stuck at home, right? So you're going to jerk off or you're going to play video games. That's pretty much what was happening. So besides the boatloads of semen that were being flushed down toilets at that time, people were just playing a lot of games, right? Non-stop. So what did these companies do? They saw this freaking growth chart that was just off the charts, and they were like, we got to hire. We got to hire people. And we're going to hire them remote. So all these hirings happened. All these new remote employees, who, by the way, remained remote up until this point, because now they're no longer employees. All those people are now gone because they overhired, because they didn't have the the foresight to see that this was just part of the pandemic and it wasn't actual growth. Yeah, COVID babies too. Yeah, I have a son who's a COVID baby. Yeah, that shit happens. So it's kind of sad because CEOs don't usually pay the price for overhiring and overfiring. You know, it's not up on their list of things I got to maintain properly. So these things happen. These things happen. It's just part of corporate America. And hopefully those 1,900 people can land on their feet. The crazy thing is Mike Ybara also left. And he left with a quick statement as well. He said, I want to thank everyone who is impacted today for their meaningful contributions to their teams, to Blizzard, and to the players' lives. It's an incredibly hard day, and my energy and support will be focused on all those amazing individuals impacted. This is in no way a reflection on your amazing work. If there's anything I can help with, connections, recommendations, DM me. This is pretty nice of him, honestly. I mean, whether he's going to do it or not is another thing, but a recommendation from your former employer who fired you goes a long way. It really does. It helped me. It helped me a lot in landing where I eventually landed, which is my favorite job I've ever had. So hopefully he actually comes through on this, because this will really help people land in other jobs. To the Blizzard community, I also want to let you all know, today is my last day at Blizzard. Leading Blizzard through an incredible time and being part of the team, shaping it for the future ahead, was an absolute honor. Having already spent 20 plus years at Microsoft, and with the acquisitions of Activision Blizzard behind us, it's time for me to once again become Blizzard's biggest fan from outside. There you go. So he is departing. To the incredible teams at Blizzard, thank you. Words can't express how I feel about you. You are amazing. Continue to do incredible things, and always keep Blizzard blue and the player at the forefront of every decision. To those who impacted today, I am always available to you and understand how challenging today's news is. My heart is with each one of you. So, I mean, Mark Ybara, I actually didn't see him as a bad CEO. I felt like he was pretty good during his time there. I enjoyed his time as CEO. I felt like he was well spoken. He did his thing. He had to realign the ship a little bit, but overall, I think he did a pretty good job. Now he's leaving. Does this maybe have to do? You got to remember, these CEOs, they have stock options in these companies, and when a buyout happens, like what happened with Microsoft, they fall into a shit ton of money. So maybe with that shit ton of money, some of these guys lose their motivation a little bit. Maybe I mean, he already had a lot of money and he was making a lot, but man, when you fall into that type of multi-generational wealth, sometimes you just want to take a break. Maybe things got too complicated at Microsoft. Maybe it wasn't what he thought it was going to be. Who knows? Could have been a ton of different reasons, but him deciding to step down. Now, he also mentions that this is not the last of him. He plans on moving forward and you know, starting other job. He says, I'll be taking time for a bit to spend time with the family and travel the world. Afterwards, I will look for hyper growth opportunities with great teams. So he's looking to join probably a smaller company, maybe a startup, kind of like Blizzard once was. That's his plan. And we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Another departure resulting from the layoffs was Alan Edham. This guy's one of the originals, man. He's one of the original freaking people from Blizzard. Back when it was freaking Synapse. Synapse. This is before it was even called Blizzard. Unbelievable. Yeah, so he's leaving. He left back in 2004 and rejoined in 2016. And, I mean, this is... The old guard of Blizzard is basically gone. I mean, now we still have Chris Metzen, and that he has made his return, and he's kind of, you know, handling the lore, making sure that it stays true to what, you know, original Warcraft was. But it's pretty crazy that almost everybody in a leadership position is now of the new guard. There are no more really old guard people left. One other thing that happened was Blizzard Entertainment's survival game got canceled. Yeah, so if you don't remember this, I mean, this was back in January 25th, 2022. Blizzard announced that they were making a new game, a new survival game. Every story needs a teller, and every world needs a builder. What if that could be you? Yeah, so Blizzard was working on a survival game, and they hired a bunch of people to get into it, too. I'm guessing anyone who applied to one of these jobs probably got fired. But, yeah, this was supposed to be the new title for Blizzard. It was supposed to be their next Overwatch. Here's the thing. It was supposed to be their next Overwatch, but it turned out to be their next Titan, which was a also big-time canceled project that they had worked on for years. I mean, Blizzard's been working on this one now. I mean, they announced it in 2022, which means they had been working on it for a long time prior to that. This is probably like 6 years down the drain of development. That's honestly what I think. We never figured anything out about this game. It was a survival game genre, which is a game genre that isn't really exploding anymore. I mean, you got your oldies like, you know, Rust and stuff that have kind of always fit into that genre. But in general, survival games are not the big thing. So, here's the thing, it's, you know, it's sad, but maybe it's better for WoW. Maybe it's better for WoW. And Microsoft did indicate that they plan on moving teams to other content. Yeah, here it is. As reported by The Verge, Microsoft Game Content and the studio's president, Booty, is that the president's name? What? Says Microsoft will be shifting some of the people working on it to one of several promising new projects Blizzard has in the early stages of development. So there are new projects Blizzard's still working on, new titles, and Microsoft just saw this one as a dud and said, you know what? We're shifting. By shifting, they really mean laying off a bunch of people and then maybe keeping some on other teams. So, yeah, if you were looking forward to this, it's gone. Pal World, is Pal World considered a survival game? I don't know. But, yeah, Pal World is big, that's for sure. I like it. Shrouded too. That's a good one. Yeah. Been having so much fun in Pal World. People love it, man. People love it. But that's another thing. Like, look at Pal World. That shit was made by a small-ass company. Rubbing two sticks together. And look what they did. Look at the success they created. I think Microsoft just saw this as like a huge undertaking that just wasn't going to yield results like Pal World did. So, you know, they decided to axe it. It is what it is. But, gone is this survival game. And gone are 1,900 employees. Sad times.